we had to get his hair fixed and prim and proper for the video, but because we popped it up on him on surprise today, that we were going to do this on video. But we're here with Coach Matt Daniel. Coach Daniel, last week we go to Moore County, and Moore County, you know, they kind of had the same type of attack that you saw against Sequatchie. Big kid, big running back, and then all of a sudden here comes the speed. But we had the opportunities, you know, missed a couple extra points and unfortunate fumble in the end zone off of a turn. You know, we got the turnover, got the ball, turned the ball over, and then all of a sudden we turned over in the end zone for a touchdown. We could have easily won that football game.
Absolutely. Had our chances and opportunities, just did not finish. We led for a long part of that game. And even when we fumbled into the end zone, we had a 1-point lead coming out of that, which was huge for us. I mean, we take a team that last year the score was 36 to 8, something like that. And here we are, we led most of the game. And like our coaching staff and I have been talking about, we're trying to put the whole game together. It's from the start to the finish. And I felt our guys come out a little flat. I told them before the game, guys, I feel like we're flat. We got to get it clocked in. And we just didn't come out of that funk there for a while until about the second quarter. We had that interception by Tyler Bundy, who kind of opened it up for us a little bit and gave us an opportunity to say, hey, our offense is stalled a little bit here early, but here we go. Let's capitalize on what we got and take advantage of the mistakes that they've made, and let's do this. 5 turnovers by their defense, you should turn that into more points than what we did. But still, 19 to 20, we're sitting there looking at that going, man, Sunday meeting, we're 1 point away from being on the other side of that, talking about how good we've done, and we did make some good plays. But the plays that we did not take advantage of obviously stand out.
Yeah, and that's what shot you down to the loss, really. Coming up this week, you've got Upperman. How has practice been going? What's the attitude of the guys? Have they recuperated? Because I'm sure they were down. You know, they were down.
They were, and here's what we talked about. That feeling that you had at the end of the game, nobody wants to feel that way. But you really don't want to feel that way knowing that it took you a quarter to get ready for the game. It took you a long time coming out flat. You want to play 100% throughout the entire game. And that's something that I have to do a better job of to preparing these guys for. And one of the things we talked about in practice this week was that we got to raise the intensity up. Raise up that intensity. And we did. Tuesday and Wednesday we had our full padded practices. We raised the intensity up. It was get after it. And our competitions, the board drill, the spider drill that we do, calling people out. You know, letting the players call each other out. Letting me get after people. It's not a time to sit back and lick our wounds. It's a time to just saddle back up and get ready for a top 10 team in the state that we have to go on the road to again.
Yeah, top 10 team in the state this week, top number 5 in the state, it looks like, from the Associated Press poll. And polls can be a little misleading, but they've been, give them their due. The teams that they beat, we're talking about Upperman, they're 4-0, and they took care of Cookeville and took care of a hot Livingston team last week. What's the game plan going into this one?
The game plan on this one is just to execute. After looking at the film against Moore County and the formations and the offense, we had our opportunities. It was missed assignments. It was not blocking the way we should and the way we know how to do it. On defense, it wasn't wrapping up when we should have. That game tackling that we saw in week 1, 2, and 3, we were waiting for other people to do things. And when we did play well is when everybody was game tackling, when everybody was blocking well. Tyler Bundy's had a 100-yard game 3 out of 4 games now. And Friday night, he only had 78 yards rushing, not quite 100. And we got to get number 5 the ball, and he's got to churn it out. Unfortunately, he's banged up right now, and it's very questionable for our game tomorrow night. But whoever the B-back is, we've got to feed that B-back, and we've got to make that guy go. And up front, we've got to get that. We've got to get the blocking done. Yeah, we have to get that run game established in order for our passing game to be as effective.
Do you feel that more teams now are starting to see your offense and kind of being able to react to it a lot quicker? Because like you said, you've had some slow starts in the last couple of weeks, and teams seem to be able to feed and say, hey, you know what? We know that that's where they're going is to Bundy. So we've got to stop Bundy, take Bundy's option and make them do something else.
Absolutely. Sequatchie sold out to stop Bundy, number 5. It's the same thing with Jackson County. What we did is we went to Court Litchford. Of course, Litchford had a great game against Jackson County. He made plays at Sequatchie County. One of the big things that happened in Moore County is we hit the big play-action pass right after a turnover from them, or a big play on defense from us, and we hit it. And that's the things we have to do. We have to execute like that. We've not run the same play, first play against an opponent yet. We've not come out in the same formation yet. For them, Moore County did a good job of executing against some of the plays that we had shown, and we knew that they would. But that's what we expected. What we have to do is run our offense, and we have anything that the defense puts up in front of us, we have an answer for it. We feel like we do. So if Friday night Moore County was taking their outside linebacker and just blitzing them off the edge, he saw our halfback formation with the halfbacks offset, and we would rush up he would just come on. If he saw that, great. Now we're going to kick him out in the next play on something else, same formation but a completely different look. But we got ourselves in a bind, and we didn't execute, got behind the chains, had to call different plays.
Yeah.
So yes and no, and we want them to sell out, to have to stop some of the stuff that we do because it opens the book on other things for us.
All right, what's the injury story we got other than Bundy being banged up?
Number 5 is probably a no-go for this week. Number 52 is also Remington James, is also probably a no-go for this week because we feel like they just hadn't recovered enough yet to get back on the field. They've practiced limited. Remington has. Bundy's knee was pretty swollen. Nothing season ending or anything like that. He's just rehabbing it right now.
Gotcha. JV schedule? How's the JV team doing?
JV, we played Middle Tennessee Christian on Monday night. We lost 14-8 in a close one there. Good crowd for our JV team. The JV team's also 2-2. We traveled to Cascade. We flip-flopped that game. It was supposed to be a home game Monday, but for a scheduling conflict, Cascade helped us out, and we're going to flip-flop. We're actually playing them twice this year on JV. So it'll be a home game October the 1st. October the 1st, we'll just flip-flop that.
So Cascade coming up Monday.
Okay. You want me to close this trailer up?
I'll get it.
All right, that'll work, and good luck to you against Upperman. I think that this will probably, if you come down, especially on the road, and get that win, not only would be your first region win, I think one of the biggest upsets that you could have during the season.
I was telling somebody else, this is a challenge. This is not, let's just get through Upperman. This is, they put on the pass just like everybody else, and TWSAA puts us in the region for a reason, because we have the same numbers or close numbers, and we should be able to compete with each other. And if we execute, like we talked about in film sessions this week, like we talked about in practice this week, we have just as good a chance as we do against anybody else. We didn't back down against Sequatchie. I feel like Sequatchie was one of the most physical games that I've been around in a long time. I don't see them being as physical as Sequatchie, but they're going to have depth, and it's Upperman, and they're 4-0, and they've got the momentum going their way. They still got to play the game, though.
Yeah, hopefully they'll lose the game.
I'm all for it.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Keith.